Hello and welcome. My name is Ansu. If you're new here, you should consider subscribing down below. I post videos once a month, so I will not be bothering you. Like, if I'm reading a lot, I don't post enough. If I'm not reading anything, I'm like so thrilled to film. Where's the logic? It doesn't go together. Anyway, of course, this video is another wrap up. This is a June wrap up. I ended up reading 7 books in the month of June. That is insane for a person like me. Like, I don't really read that much. So let's talk about the books that I did end up reading. The first one being A Spoonful of Murder by J.M. Hall. I saw this at a used bookstore and I was like, you know what? That looks very interesting, so I grabbed it. I was really lost. I don't know who actually died in here, what really happened. Like, if you ask me a thing about this book, I don't know. I think there's a character named Thelma. There is a Thelma. That's the only thing I remember about this book. If you had a gun to my head and were like, Ansu, you have to tell me what this book is about. No clue. She has no clue. Absolutely none. If you have read Thursday Murder Club, it's kind of like that in the sense that these characters are retirees and there's like a murder mystery going on within their community. That's all I got. I got nothing for you. It's just a whole lot of nothing on a plate. In this book, there are 3 teachers, they're retirees, and every Thursday they meet up for coffee. And they call it coffee o'clock. It's supposed to be very quirky, whatever. But one fateful Thursday, they actually ended up meeting one of their ex-colleagues named Topsy. So literally a week after they met, Topsy ends up dead. And these characters think that she was murdered for some reason, and it's their like little investigation as these 3 characters. There's so many like point of views, like you're jumping in between each of these characters' POVs, and we're trying to figure out like who each person is really. I don't know, for some reason I was very lost. I had no idea what was going on in here. I gave this like 3 stars. I don't know. I did not enjoy it as much. There is another book to this series, or duology, I guess. I do own it. And will I be reading it? Probably, but I don't know. I didn't fully enjoy it because I genuinely did not understand a thing. The next one I finished was The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. I have to say, this was supposed to be a book that I read in like the Christmas time. Whenever it is the Christmas time, I just don't want to read it. So I was like, you know what, it's time. I have had it on my shelf for a little while. I really wanted to pick it up, and I did. This is a very cute romance with sisters. They're twin sisters, and they kind of switch places from their horrible lives, essentially. One of them, named Charlie, is a reality television show baker, I guess, and she gets hit in the head, and she has no sense of taste anymore, so she cannot really stay being on that reality show lest she lose her job. And so she switches places with her identical sister Cass, who is frantically running their family-owned bakery. So they switch places and they find their own little romance in each place. And it's definitely very cute. There's a nice little familial aspect to it. I really enjoyed that. The way that these 2 characters talk to each other was just very sweet. It was very endearing. And when they come to like resolutions to their problems, it was just very sweet. It was a nice book. I really enjoyed this one. I would really recommend this one. Very Christmassy. If you're into that, I think you'll really enjoy this one. It just wraps up very nicely. Too nicely almost, but it's cute. I really enjoyed it. Definitely read it during the Christmas time, but I liked it. The next one I ended up reading was The Teacher by Freda McFadden. This was really messed up. We have our main character, Eve, who is on paper living the most perfect life. So she has a great husband, she has a good job, a lot of people that cares about her, all that jazz. And everyone just expects everything to be perfect at home. So naturally, that's how she's living. She has this kind of a problem where she is constantly buying shoes, like expensive shoes that is way out of her means, but that's a part of her. And then we have another character named Addie. Addie is this kid who had this rumor going around her, basically that she was in a relationship with a teacher. So she's a kid. She's literally like 15 or 16 years old, and people are saying that she was in a relationship with this teacher. So naturally, Eve, who's also a teacher at the high school that Addie goes to, does not trust her for 1 second. Eve and her husband both are teachers at the same high school that Addie's also going to, and it's a lot of things that are going there. If it is heavy on pedophilia, if you get triggered by that, stay clear from this. This is really messed up. It left this gaping hole in my soul, like literally reading this. I was like, what the fuck did I just read? It was so difficult to get through. The story itself, the last twist of it, I really enjoyed. But again, it was really fucked up. As it is with Freda McFadden, I did enjoy this book, but it was very messed up. I genuinely could not hold it together. It was tough. I'll just leave it at that. You can read it at your own risk. There's a part actually that was very, very unbelievable towards like the 80% mark, I think. Something like that. It was so unbelievable. That's why I docked like another star for it. I gave it like 3 stars. It was pretty good, but there's some really messy parts in here. I got nothing else to say. The next one I read was A Holly Jolly Diwali by Sonia Lally. I so badly wanted to like this book. Like, I absolutely wanted to love this book, but I didn't. This one follows around 29-year-old Nikki Randava. Her life was going really well. Like, everything was going according to the plans that she made, and she gave up like music school or something to actually go and get a very reasonable job, like a data scientist or something like that, and she was making good money. Of course, something turns around and she gets fired, and so she has no idea what she's going to do, and she ends up going to India to celebrate Diwali and also attend her best friend's wedding. Over there, she ends up meeting one of these like rock stars, I guess, named Samira Mukherjee or Sam. And they end up having this romance within the span of like a week. They're in this position where Nikki is even proposing to move out of the US to go to England to be with this guy in the future. And I was just like, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, babes. Like, what is going on? She was ready to move up and move, get married to this dude, move away. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know. Just everything about this romance did not stick well with me. It was so not believable. Like, these characters on paper, they didn't look like they even had anything going for them. I don't know. It just didn't feel like they had true feelings for each other. It was just super quick. At least it wasn't shown on paper. They probably had feelings for each other, but it just wasn't shown on paper to me that well. And it did not resonate with me at all. I genuinely did not like this book. I was so upset because I was really rooting for this book. I do have a couple more books by this author on my shelf, and I'm a little hesitant to actually pick them up because I have like high hopes for them, and then this is a huge letdown for me personally. I know a lot of people really enjoyed this too, but this was such a letdown for me, unfortunately, and I'm so disappointed. Like, really so disappointed. But yeah, I give this like 2 stars, unfortunately. It just gets yeeted out of here, but yeah. I have some gripe with this book, Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. I thought this author was supposed to be like very good and very popular, and I thought I would enjoy it, so I picked this one up. Tell me why I gave this 2 stars. Probably less. We're following a 20-year-old Mac who is going to college in like Avalon Bay. She has a website for like, it's kind of like Reddit, I guess, but something like that. She has a website, it's very popular. She's rich. She's a millionaire herself, and her family is like even more richer. I feel like they're billionaires or something. Like, they're fucking rich. But that's the thing. She wants to be able to live by herself. Like, she has a boyfriend who's also super rich. They don't seem to have any chemistry. She ends up meeting this guy named Cooper, who is supposed to be this like very hardcore manly man in this little town. And they end up meeting. They end up hitting it off with a good friendship. And obviously like romance ensues and stuff like that. But still, when we're looking at it, from a bigger picture, the storyline seems cute. But when you actually read it, not so cute. It's so dumb. I don't know, something in here just didn't really sit well with me. My Goodreads review was literally, Richie Rich girl meets towny boy and falls in love so quickly, and their issues blew up so close to the end and got fixed within 50 pages, all nicely, with a bow. And that is literally what happened. Like, they had so many issues going on for them. They fixed everything. 50 pages. They're done. They're perfect for each other. I'm done. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. That book was just ridiculous. I just did not like it. I don't know what was going on with that. And I feel bad. I feel bad for dissing on it so much, but it was quite horrible. I'm actually going to speak about this book first because it was also a letdown. The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I was very excited about this. This is a new release and I was so pumped to get to this. What was this? We have this like beach town and this woman who is making like a fancy ass hotel resort type of thing. And all these rich people are coming there to stay over. And we know that she seems a little messed up. The story's too good to be true the way that things are running. And there's a bunch of different characters that we're following. And we're also going back and forth between 2 different timelines. One is right after a fire that happened in this resort place, and another is a journal entry like 10-20 years ago. Another is the days reaching up towards the grand opening of this resort place. And like I said, we're following different characters and we're trying to get to like what happened with the fire and all that stuff. There's this thing where we're finding people or things that are like giant birds. It feels like a cult almost. And it just pops in here and there and it's like, oh, birds are flying from here. Oh, there's a bird feather. And I'm just like, this is so ridiculous, honestly. But I will give it this. By the end of this book, I give it 3 stars, which is pretty good, I would say. But birds? Really? But in the final book, technically this is not the final book I read in June, it was the other way around, but I just wanted to end on a good note, really, and that was The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I love Christina Lauren, so this is not a surprise that I really enjoyed this one. I think I give this like 4 stars. This is following around a super rich guy who got married to trigger his trust fund. And he technically leaves this woman, and it's like they went on their merry way. She needed an apartment to stay and someone to share with. Somehow it worked out that they got married. Fast forward a few years down the road, these two characters actually have to end up meeting again. So Anna, who's dirt poor, taking care of her dad, who has some serious health issues and a lot of medical bills. On the flip side, we have Liam Weston, or West, as Anna loves to call him, who is super rich. And he, like I said, got this trust fund. But there's a catch to that trust fund. It says that they have to be married for 5 years, so that's not a sham of a marriage, and they cannot be like separated by then or anything like that. West actually comes back to Anna and is like, oh my god, I have to go to my sister's wedding. My entire family thinks we're still married, and I kind of need you to come with me and pretend like you're still my wife. There you go. There's a lot of close proximity, so much drama, and you can feel the tension between these characters quite a bit. At times, I genuinely felt like this was a little rushed in the way, especially the way that they kind of went for it. It was a little super quick. Like, honestly, when I was reading, I was like, huh? Did I miss a chapter? Like, it was very quick. Another thing that I noticed with this book, it was very steamy. I don't think Christina Lauren's books were ever just like rated R, but keep that in mind. It was super, super steamy. It was really cute. You know, it was such a sweet romance. I had such a good time reading it, and I would highly recommend this book. So I just wanted to end it on a nicer note compared to the other books that I genuinely did not enjoy as much. Yeah, this was a total win for me. All right, those are all the 7 books I read in the month of June. I feel like that was quite a bit. I don't generally read that much, so it was really exciting for me. If you read any of these books, do let me know down below how you liked them, what you liked about them, and everything in between, because I would really love to know that. That's it for me. I'll see y'all next time with another one. Until then, I'll talk to you all in the comments, and hopefully this time I'll actually post more videos. Let's just pretend that's going to be the case, all right? Yeah? Okay, thanks. Bye.